What's up guys, CJ here and welcome back to another all-new Hybrid News Now. Lots to talk about today. First up, a confirmation about another Justice League member appearing in Suicide Squad, then a new rumor about a major Spider-Man Homecoming casting, and finally some official new details about Netflix's release schedule. First up, let's wander on over to the DCEU and talk Suicide Squad. We are now just 1 week from the film's midnight premiere, and I am personally so excited. I've already got my tickets ready, but even this late in the game, we're still learning new things about the movie. This time, it's a very special cameo by another Justice League member, one that had been rumored for a long time but hadn't been confirmed until now, when the name was listed on the final cast list that was sent out in the film's press kit, so it's definitely legit. Spoilers are ahead, so if you don't want to know, click away now. Alright, everyone here that wants to be here? Good. As first reported by the good folks over at comicbookresources.com, at some point in the film we'll be treated to an appearance by none other than Ezra Miller, the Flash himself. Because this just comes to us from a cast list, there's no details on the role or how Ezra will actually appear. But the best guess, and the one that we've actually discussed on this channel in a video that we made about a potential plot that had leaked over on 4chan a couple weeks back, is that he'll appear as the one that catches and brings in Jai Courtney's Captain Boomerang, seeing as Boomerang is one of Flash's classic villains. The other interesting thing to note, Ben Affleck's Batman, who we know is in the movie because he's been heavily brandished in trailer after trailer, is not listed in this final cast list. Now, I'm not trying to call into question whether or not Ben's Batman is actually in the film. I mean, we know he is. He's been in just about every single trailer. I just think it's odd that Ezra, who's probably only going to appear very briefly in one scene, is listed in this final cast list, and Ben's Batman, who we know appears in at least one major scene, is not. Probably not an issue, but something to keep an eye on for sure. But common question of the day, how do you think Ezra Miller's Flash is going to appear in the movie, and are you excited that he's in this film? Up next, let's swing on over to the MCU and talk a little bit more about Spider-Man Homecoming. The Webhead's next cinematic appearance won't hit theaters until June 2017, but that didn't stop the movie from being one of the most talked about films of SDCC coming out of this year's Marvel panel. Hall H attendees were shown some pretty cool footage, the main cast was officially revealed, and then a few days later it was confirmed that Michael Keaton is in fact playing the Vulture. But now we've got our hands on a new rumor concerning an addition to the cast made way back earlier this month. 3 weeks ago, THR reported that young Australian actress Angourie Rice, who you might have seen in The Nice Guys, had joined the cast, and a new report claims to know exactly who she'll be playing. And you know what? I think it's legit. This comes to us from Marvel-centric blog Marvelous Realm, who are reporting the 15-year-old Rice is playing none other than Betty Brant, one of Spider-Man's original supporting characters from the 60s, and even a one-time love interest for Peter Parker. So why am I believing this source? Well, believe it or not, Marvelous Realm have a pretty good track record when it comes to covering this film. I mean, they've reported on every single character identity as it's been revealed. Oh, but not this past weekend, when we all found out. No. Way back on July 1st, they nailed every single character in this film. I mean, Laura Harrier is Liz Allen, Tony Revolori is Flash Thompson, etc., etc. And then just days later, were the first to report that Jacob Batalon had been cast and nailed his character too. He's playing Ned Leeds, by the way. You don't have to take my word for it. I've linked them down in the description below for your viewing pleasure and to just see that I'm not BSing you right now. But honestly, I think at this point I'm comfortable saying that they've got a pretty reliable source on the inside, and this should be seen as a little more trustworthy than your usual run-of-the-mill rumor. If this is the case though, it's an interesting twist for the character of Brant, because originally in the comics she was not a classmate of Peter Parker's and instead was a colleague over at the Daily Bugle. Follow-up reports have claimed that she's going to be the love interest in this film, but there's nothing about that in the original report, so that's something that we're just gonna have to wait and see. So let me know what you think about Betty Brant appearing in this film, but in our next story, we have our first official details about Marvel and Netflix's upcoming release slate. That's right, we now know what the streaming service has on deck for their critically acclaimed series straight from Netflix boss Ted Sarandos himself. IGN caught up with Sarandos at the Television Critics Association press tour, and over the course of their conversation, he let slip a few details. First, he danced around a question about the Punisher potentially appearing in the Defenders series, but then teased that it's not out of the realm of possibility. But when asked about the state of the slate presently, he did confirm, of course, that we're getting Luke Cage next on September 30th, and then Iron Fist after that, and then the Defenders after that. And then all the second and third seasons of other shows, most likely starting with Daredevil Season 3, Jessica Jones Season 2, and the Punisher series, because those are the only ones we know about so far. Unfortunately, we've got no more details than that at this point, but Sarandos did admit that he wants to crank out the Marvel shows a little bit quicker so there's less downtime between them. And you know what? Second common question of the day. Which upcoming Netflix show are you most excited for? But that's going to wrap it up for another HNN. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that like if you like what you saw, subscribe for more great content every single day, and consider supporting us on Patreon for access to all sorts of exclusive goodies. Signing off, this is CJ. I'll see you tomorrow.